Good morning, everyone. My name is Diana, and today on today's blog, I want to talk to you about the initiative and referendum process in the state of Arizona. Today, I'll be talking about two important roles of direct democracy that is in the state of Arizona. I'm gonna share about the initiative and the referendum process. These processes allow everyday Arizonians, not just elected officials to shape the laws, policies of their state. They're central to how people participate directly in the government, and they are protected by the Arizona Constitution, which is amazing. To begin, I want to share some basic definition. An initiative is a process that allows citizens to propose new laws or constitutional amendments. Instead of waiting for the legislator to act, voters can write themselves a proposal and place it on the ballot for everyone to vote on. A referendum is a process that allows citizens to challenge the laws that the legislator has already passed. If voters disagree with a new law, they gather signatures and put that law on the ballot so the public can decide whether it should stay in place or be rejected. Both of these tools give powers directly to the people, which is the core idea of direct democracy. Now, let's just talk about both of them. How the initiative and referendums were created. For the initiative, a group of citizens begin by drafting a proposal law or constitutional amendment. They filed the proposal with the Arizona Secretary of State. Then they collected the required number of signatures. For a statutory initiative, they needed signatures equal to 10% of the vote cast in the last year's governor's election. For a constitutional initiative, they need 15%. If they collect enough ballot signatures, the initiative appears on the statewide ballot and voters decide whether to approve or reject. So this is still giving an opportunity to the community, to the citizens. For a referendum, the legislator has already passed the law, but citizens who oppose to the law file a referendum petition. They must collect signatures equal to 5% of the votes that were cast in the last year's governor's election. So if they meet that requirement, the law is put on hold until voters decide whether to keep it or appeal or reappeal it. Now, both processes have the cons and pros. So let's look into them. An initiative is a proactive. It allows citizens to create new laws or amendments. A referendum is reactive. It allows citizens to respond to the laws the legislator has already passed. Initiatives require more signatures, 10 to 15%, while referendums only require 5%. 5%. Initiative move policy from the bottom up, while referendum act as a check on legislative power. Both of these processes are powerful, but they each come with their pros and cons. Let's look at the pros of the initiative. The pros of the initiatives include empower citizens to address issues that the legislator may avoid, encouraging civic engagement, and allowing initiative policy ideas. However, the cons include the possibility of influence from the wealthy interest groups, the challenge of simplifying a complex laws for voters, and the risk that long-term consequences may not be fully understood. Now let's look at the pros and the cons for the referendums. The pros of the referendum include providing a direct check on legislative powers, allowing voters to stop unpopular or harmful laws, and increasing accountability for elected officials. Now, the cons includes delaying important legislation, the cost and difficulty of collecting signatures, and the possibility that voters may not have full context about the law that is being challenged. So when we looked at this process and how the initiative and referendum supports the idea of a direct democracy in Arizona, we can say that the Arizona Constitution clearly protects these processes. Article 4, Part 1 states that the people reserve the power to propose laws and amendments, which is amazing because it's giving the citizens, the people, a voice. They have a voice in these processes. And they also have a voice to approve or reject a legislation. This means that citizens are not just limited to go vote every 2 to 4 years. Instead, they can directly shape a policy, challenge the laws, and participate in government in meaningful ways. Initiative and referendums reflect the belief that democracy works best when people have a direct voice. The state of Arizona understands the importance of the citizens' voice and the importance of listening to them because the citizen knows also what is best for the state. Not just through representative, but they have direct action. They are essential to Arizona's political identity and give voters the real power to create, challenge, and shape laws. So, in conclusion to today's podcast, understanding initiative and referendums help us appreciate how direct democracy works in Arizona and how these tools allow citizens to take an active role in shaping the future of the state, ensuring that the government remains responsive to the people it serves. It's great. It's amazing to learn how every state had different processes and how Arizona processes processes of initiative and referendums are all also allowing the people to share the voice, are allowing the citizens to have a voice. Thank you for connecting with me today and have a great day.